What's up, Freccero fam? So I'm currently in Santa Barbara, California, and for this video, I'm going on my first ever wine tasting tour in Santa Ynez. Just finished up with our last winery. That was an amazing tour, and on our way back, we're actually getting in and out. So, what an amazing tour. Huge shout out to Hannah. Hands down the best tour guide of all time. The wine tasting tour was unbelievable. That was my first time ever going wine tasting, actually, and I was blown away by how much fun it was. Now, for this specific tour, it was kind of unique how they did everything. So we were in Santa Barbara, and essentially this specific tour picks you up at your location. So you tell them like, hey, I'm at this address or whatever. They pick you up at a given time. You get basically in a van with other people, so you kind of don't know who's going to be with you. Sometimes, and I was talking to the tour guide, and by the way, Hannah, who was our tour guide, was incredible. And I was talking to her, and she said that basically sometimes they have huge groups, sometimes up to 80 people, and sometimes smaller groups, the minimum they have is 2. So luckily, it was just 4 people for this tour, which I think made it a lot better to have a smaller, more intimate group where we all got to know each other, and in addition to got to have like a lot more fun. So they pick you up and basically went to numerous different wineries, as you basically saw from the footage. And what's interesting is you basically get there, especially for like the first one, for example, you get there, and what they do is they give you, I'd say, about an ounce to 2 ounces per glass to basically try out and taste. The technique they basically explained to me is basically when you get your glass, you first want to swirl it around to kind of get it moving. You then smell it because it helps, I guess, a lot with the taste, and then you end up tasting it. Then between that, you can either have water or basically have some type of like crackers or something to kind of like reset your palate. And we went back and forth between so many different whites and reds and all this kind of stuff. There was a strategy too, because I even talked about this as well, where you basically start off with typically the lightest wine that's typically white, and then move to more of a, heavier, more full body red wine. So kind of going through that like spectrum and everything. So it's really cool to see this kind of science and the whole technique and the whole craft of making incredible wine. So what made this tour super unique, I thought, is that the tour guide, or Hannah basically, she was incredibly responsive and there to be like, look, we want you guys to have the best time possible. So what made this really unique, it was kind of structured in the sense of, okay, we're going to here, 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 and here. But what we wanted to do between then was kind of up to us. So it's cool that after the first winery, for example, she said, hey, we kind of got done to that first winery a bit quicker. Obviously, it's only 4 people, so it was a little bit faster in terms of the process and the tasting and everything. If you want, we can stop by somewhere that's not on the tour, but we might as well check it out. So we stopped by this olive oil tasting that was amazing. I mean, it was some of the best olive oil I've ever had in my life, and then we bounced to the second winery. So what was cool about this tour is that you kind of give you a lunch order before you get on the tour, and the tour guide will actually go pick up your lunch, which was about like a mile to a mile and a half from, the wineries, and then come back and bring it to you. So basically after the second winery, we basically sat there, got to eat our lunch and everything, got to hang out, and then she said, okay, either A, we can leave right now and go to a different one that's not on the tour, or we can go to, we could just wait around for a little bit and then go to the next one. So we're like, you know what? Might as well add in a new stop. So we were able to add in all these kind of stops between it and kind of customize the tour along with the structureness that they already had. So it was really cool that she was super flexible. In addition, which made this even better too, you could actually drink in the van because it's a commercial vehicle. She said that as long as you're not basically up front and basically the front seat or shotgun essentially, as long as you're kind of behind that invisible barrier, you can drink as much as you want in the van. So we're able to drink wine in the van and everything while traveling along, while going to these different wineries and tasting all these incredibly crafted wines and everything. It was incredible, being honest. I did not expect to have that much fun. There was so much wine that we had. Amazing food. Wow, like the sandwich place that she went to was unbelievable. And then obviously lastly, capping off the entire event and the entire tour with In-N-Out could not have been any better.